Hey, you little Omicrons, welcome back to my program. Ow! God damn it! Shit! Warning, the following video we'll be watching in this episode is so stupid, it might affect your neurology. I don't honestly know if I could keep watching this dip nuts videos anymore, because they literally make me even stupider. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay guys, well today it's always fun to look at find the stupidest videos we can and to look at them and go, what is this? And then I go, yeah, right, An easy, not even a layup. This would be more like, when you see kids, they somehow get the basketball rim, like their little home basketball net rim with like the water-filled base, and they just lower it like to the ground, and they just dunk on it. That's sort of what this is.
The Omnicorp variant.
Oh.
Is that a possible outcome here, that Omicron becomes dominant, but there's an advantage in that it's less dangerous?
What? That is a possibility, but let me give you the details about where we get those data, mostly from South Africa. So in South Africa, they're getting a very, very pronounced spread in almost a vertical spike of infection. And yet, when you look at
Vertical
the early
spike,
data,
like you, when you hear about a new virus you can exploit.
That there is a diminution in the severity as expressed by hospitalization. The real question is that an inherent diminution of virulence of the virus?
Stop saying diminution.
Or is it because there are so many people in the population who have already been infected and now have residual post-infection immunity, which is not protecting them from getting infected, but is protecting them from getting severe disease. Whatever it is,
stop
the
nodding
disease
like
seems
you
to be
know.
less severe.
Hold on a second. You just said the part that matters, and then you just completely muddied the water with stuff that doesn't matter. So it is less severe. People are not dying. It's incredibly mild. But it's still a pandemic because a lot of people could get the sniffles. For crying out loud, look, it's over. It's done now. He cannot give up. This is what we talked about. He cannot just give up control. You could not write this any better. When you create a variant that outcompetes, from what we understand, Delta, that is more contagious and significantly less deadly.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We should be popping champagne everywhere around the world. And you know what else he said?
What?
He said, it looks like maybe people have gotten infected already and they have some kind of immunity. I've never heard of this kind of immunity. It's weird if you get sick.
I wonder if Rand Paul was just shooting his flat screen at home.
Yeah, exactly. He's on Amazon
Like
trying to get
Elvis.
another one. Yeah.
Everyone's scared.
That's what I said.
Remember that question I asked 17 times to Rand Paul?
That's the first time he's ever mentioned natural immunity.
Well, yes. I mean, he says it actually works. Who knew?
It's just like, are you trying to put your audience in the hospital? So, all right, the first thing that they do is it seems like they kind of either misunderstand or intentionally misinterpret what this guy, Tony Grouchy or whatever his name is saying. He's like, yeah, it looks like this new variant is sending less people to the hospital. However, first of all, we don't know because this thing is new and the data's not there yet because it takes time, blah, 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 blah. Then he goes on and he says, it might be sending less people to the hospital because those people might have already got infected with previous variants of the virus, and so they have that natural immunity that's going to protect them. In other words, what he's saying is we don't know how dangerous the new one is yet. Okay?
It isn't.
Now, a lot of the people who are going to be viewing this video, the 337,000 in one day of these people are going to be Mimas and Peepas who are at risk, who could have some serious... So when he goes into this bit about natural immunity, we've kind of gone over this over and over and over again. And then they keep swinging and missing, even though the softball is on the tee right in front of them. And we not only the softball's on the tee, we're just like, if you hit the softball, we'll give you $100. Those people who have that natural immunity that he's talking about in the case of South Africa, he's talking about, people who got it, who might have natural immunity, remember, this is very important. They had to catch the virus first. They had to catch it. People who they're tricking to bolster this anti-vax stuff, supporting these kind of anti-vax beliefs of these people. That's what this is about. You don't need to get a vaccine because you could just catch it and then you're immune for a short period of time. Okay, yes, but that would involve you catching it unvaccinated. Okay, and if you're a little Mimon Peepaw out there living in Mississippi or Louisiana, you are rolling the dice on that one, my friend. You know who they're going to send out to try to help you when you catch it and you don't have no vaccine and you're in the hospital? Guess who?
C.K. Louis, the comedian.
This whole anti-vax thing really, honestly, is starting to... Like, I watch a lot of these videos, these right-wing goofball videos, and this anti-vax stuff seems to be exhausting. Like, because he has to show, like, a certain part of the video, then he has to tippy-toe around. He can't say, don't get it, doesn't work, it's a hoax, or whatever. Can't really say too much of that, because then you're risking a ban, which sounds like this. So you got to do all this tippy-toe. You got to cut videos in a certain way. I looked up the video that he played to take that part out of it, and he left out the beginning of the video, which provides some very crucial context to this Omicro machines crap. So here we go.
That have come from South Africa as well as the UK. The data you showed up on the screen, Jim, is correct. What happens is that if you get 2 doses of a Pfizer or a Moderna, the protection against infection itself is dramatically down. However, what is the somewhat encouraging news is that the protection against hospitalization and severe disease, although it goes down to around 70% from around 93%, when you get boosted, it brings it back up to the level of pretty good protection, which is a very strong argument for people getting their boosters.
I mean, this is especially, I'm guessing, but I would put a lot of money on this guess, that there's a lot of, again, Mimas and Peepaws. We love them. We love to see them, these Mimas and Peepaws who follow Steven Crowder. They saw him in an ad or something, or some Koch brothers ad or some crap that, hey, you should watch this, and they think he's a nice young man and all this stuff. But to leave that part out, like, should Steven Chowder get in trouble for this? Should he get in trouble? I don't think he should go to prison or anything like that. But I do think that he has to go to, like, the old folks, unit at the hospital, and he's got to, like, just live there. And he has to do he would probably like that. He has to do his comedy.
Partial lockdown. Japan and Israel ban entry of all foreigners. Germany locked down the unvaccinated. Nothing like not learning from history. And Fauci himself.
The Nazis loosened vaccine mandates, by the way. So that one don't work.
And we all would prefer that people would be voluntarily getting vaccinated. But if they're not going to do that, sometimes you've got to do things that are unpopular, like me in high school, but that clearly supersede individual choices.
No.
What? That just makes common sense.
Like, that reads like a communist manifesto.
It does.
I mean, first of all, I love that guy, the poor employee of this show, the guy who just wanted to, like, edit movies or work at a TV station, a real TV station. He's got to do this. He's like, no. Let's give a hand for that guy. Poor guy. He's trying to make money. But then Steven Crowder reads this thing where they're like, hey, we're gonna have to I don't know, what's his name? Stephen Grouchy, the health guy. He's like, okay, we're gonna have to, people need to get on board with the vaccine stuff. And then Steven Crowder goes, that reads like a communist manifesto. I mean, that's the thing that I learned, like, doing this channel for the past year or so, watching these right-wing videos, is just how lazy these guys are. Like, he reads a quote about vaccines and, like, this health guy saying you got to get the vaccine, and then he's just like, communist, the Communist Manifesto. Like, where in that quote, where in that tweet or whatever it was, Was he talking about like class struggle and whatever else? Whatever that prevert was writing in a Communist Manifesto. No, it's just say Communist Manifesto, because I think my audience is idiots and that they'll think that just sounds scary.
That J.K. Rowling, people are mad at J.K. Rowling because scientifically she stated something biologically. I hope you're seeing the theme here. Let's go through this. The Party of Science. The Party of Science. Okay, we've already been through that. Locked down for something that shouldn't have been locked down for, and the lockdowns didn't work, and they're still encouraging these measures that don't work and infringe upon your freedoms.
All right, let's go through it. He says... I feel like I just work at the post office now with this guy. Okay, let's do the easy fact check on this crap. It's from Columbia University. They did a study on the lockdown in New York. Lockdown led to 70% drop in NYC COVID spread. Masks also effective. They don't like that either because that's an infringement on my freedom because I'm precious. They're very worked up about war. Men need to be ready to go to war. Men are made for battling in wars. And then something happens. That's basically a war against the virus. And they're like, we can't sacrifice. I can't. How am I supposed to go to bed in Bath and Beyond? I can't.
All right. So J.K. Rowling responded because here's something that happened first. Okay. Scottish police said that they were going to allow male rapists to identify as female. Mm-hmm. Now, what did happen is there was a male who was a sexually violent felon. Look. A dude who raped somebody, then claimed he was a chick, got put into prison, and allegedly raped another woman. So on Sunday, J.K. Rowling, author of Harry Potter, tweeted in response, "War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. The penised individual who raped you is a woman." Great.
Penis individual?
Yes.
Logical sentence.
Well, what else do you say? When you say man, they say can't say man. Then you say male, can't say male. Penis individual? How often do we hear? If it would save one life. If it would save one life, we should ban all guns. If it would stop one rape, #MeToo, we should believe all women. If it would stop one rape, and often we're kind of at really the mercy of believing the best through these proposals, whether it's 3-strike policies, whether it's bail reform, whether you're talking about neighborhood watches, patrolling, rape kits, right? All of these things, you don't necessarily know how many rapes those will prevent, but you believe it. Here, we have a very, very simple, not low cost, no cost solution to quantifiably stop rapes.
What? I kind of looked into this just to get some numbers, put some statistics to this. In the UK, they track, like sexual assaults in women's prisons. Trans women account for 4% of those assaults. So statistically speaking, non-trans women prisoners far more of a threat there. I think old JK, if she's still on this, I feel like there might be a little bit of an addiction to the attention on this one. There might be a little bit of this. Okay, so this is the next section. Remember what we were talking about in that last section? Because this is going to, honestly, I'm owning. I'm sorry. I know that this is annoying YouTube stuff, but I'm owning these people. Owning. Like, they're my property now. I'm legally responsible for them as if they were children because of the owning that I'm doing here. But this is the next segment. Keep that in mind. Very next segment from when we were talking about if we can prevent one rape, going into this long, an allegation about a trans person in prison, and he's like, if we can prevent one rape, this is the very next one. Keep that in mind.
A lot of people don't realize this. The American military is the greatest peacekeeping organization that the world has ever known, and one of the greatest. Now, don't get me wrong about the military-industrial complex. It doesn't need to be so bloated.
Not the most pleasant topic, though. I mean, this is a bittersweet own that I'm about to do. I wish it was any other topic. Okay? So let's walk through this. We started off with look how dangerous trans people are. We got to make sacrifices. We can't allow these people to whatever, go to the prison that they identify with. We can't do that because there's just too much danger. Next segment. The United States military is the best force for peace in the world. here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm not going to bring this up on screen. Simply go to google.com, type in google.com. Don't take the lazy way out of just putting it in the bar, okay? Go to google.com, and then put it in the bar, okay? Show Google some respect. And simply type in, again, such a bittersweet own to be on this topic, Iraq occupation rape. That's it. And bye-bye, Crowder, bye-bye forever. And then he walks out the window of his set. You know, he's like, that's it. This own is too much for me. He will go, steps out the window of his set, walks into the distance, and that's the last time anybody heard from him. I think he walked back to Canada. Actually. Okay. Not a subject to joke about. This is a comedy channel. He started it. I'm just simply doing an own. Okay, please leave me alone. But of course, it's honestly, I'm starting to think that I should just like hire somebody on one of these Fiverr or whatever to just create a bot to just respond to these videos, because like the U.S. military is the greatest force for peace. Do I need to respond to that? I mean, it's almost kind of cartoonish. The Iraq War was to go fight a guy who we installed as a leader of that country. Greatest force for peace.
This is fascisty. Sorry, Joy Reid said to DeSantis, so y'all know this is fascisty bananas, right? I don't. Okay, she's a broadcaster. Fascisty banana, whatever. Then Silverman replied,
talented.
Please read the article before you post this stuff. You're a news outlet. The truth has to matter.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
Now, to be fair, if Reid had read the article, she would have known that DeSantis wanted to implement a civilian military, like to help respond with hurricanes and natural disaster.
So for good things.
Yes. Right.
Okay, cool. So this is in the context of this little bit about Ron DeSantis, who's the governor of the state that I was. That's actually audio recording of me being pooped out, as the doctor called it. Weird doctor. We noticed that his medical degree had a Shutterstock watermark over it. Sarah Silverman, how can I describe this story? Some lady on some network or whatever was like, Ron DeSantis is a fascist because he's rallying a kind of like a state militia-y, National Guard-y kind of thing in Florida. And then Sarah Silverman in response, she's like, you should actually read the article. I read the article on CNN, and actually, let's just bring this stupid article up. DeSantis, by the way, look, they elected this guy to be the leader of the state. Look at that face. Unbelievable. So here's the actual article. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, this thing was kind of a meme for a while, like a couple of weeks ago. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis wants to reestablish a World War II-era civilian military force that he, not the Pentagon, would control. DeSantis pitched the idea Thursday as a way to further support the Florida National Guard during emergencies like hurricanes. The Florida National Guard, I feel like this is maybe where a lot of people stopped reading this. The Florida National Guard has also played a vital role during the pandemic, administering a COVID-19 test. But here's the part that kind of describes what's actually really going on here. It shows you a lot about what politics in the U.S. is like. But in a nod to the growing tension between Republican states and the Biden administration over the National Guard, DeSantis also said this unit, called the Florida State Guard, would be, quote, not encumbered by the federal government. Here's another funny part. DeSantis is proposing bringing it back with a volunteer force of 200 civilians. Here's a shocker. This guy, Mr. Trump Jr. here, Ron DeSantis in Florida, is doing what we call a publicity stunt. He's saying, he's winking at people like, we're not taking any crap with these vaccine mandates. We're going to have an army. So when they come with the giant like prop shots to like poke people, our army will be there. Our army, by the way, of 200 guys. 200 confused guys. But his kind of formal justification for this is to help with hurricanes. As somebody who's been through one of the worst hurricanes in the history of Florida and a couple others, 200 civilians ain't gonna do crap, my friend. Not gonna do nothing. It's so weird. The biggest problems during the serious hurricanes were people gouging on ice and water. So you might want to work on that, Ronnie DeSantis. Maybe put down the publicity stunts for 10 minutes. You idiot, you dead-eyed dope, moron, you, and work on getting ready with that crap. Okay? Because you know it's gonna happen, idiot.
Okay. Hey, where is Sarah Silverman right now on the transgender rape in women's prisons? I just want to make sure.
Honestly, this segment, he went on and on about Sarah Silverman, and I honestly kind of stopped paying attention, and I looked up, who's Sarah Silverman married to? I put that in Google, and she's married to this guy. What's this guy's name? Rory. Look at their dog. What? Okay, next segment of this, how many views? Probably more. Usually his views jump like really quickly. Like I'll be watching one of these things and it's like 300,000, that'll be like 500,000. How does this happen? They ran a bunch of ads on this guy, right? So then he shows a Bobby Reich. I don't know if you guys know this. He was some kind of, I don't know. Honestly, this guy does good tweets every once in a while, but who cares? He's one of those guys. Like, who cares? Who cares? But Robbie Reich treats out Elon Musk's Time debut is a good time to remind you that he illegally threatened to take away stock options if employees unionized, and has 43 workers' rights violations filed against his company since 2010. So, okay. Yeah, true that. I mean, they got some problems with old Elon. Let's see what Crowder says about it.
I don't know. It kind of seems like Reich is dog whistling at Musk's status as a minority-owning business person.
Yeah,
it seems kind of racist to me.
I don't think you can do that.
Mr. Reich?
Mr. Reich seems... maybe Reichberg you go with.
Yeah.
Add something to it.
Maybe, yeah.
Reichman?
Yeah.
Robert Reichman?
That's a safe ad there.
Reich Klux the Fourth.
I realize we should be serious about it, but I can't get over the name.
By the way, I think Robert Reich is about 4'10".
Really?
Well, not kidding.
Well,
Really?
that's because...
He would scare the hell out of Johnny Boy.
Like Fuhrer, like Reich.
He's... That's legally a little person.
Yeah, he would be
think
entitled to midget money.
It may be 4'11".
Knee-high?
Or
What do you
5
call
foot.
him these
I don't
days?
know. He's
Yeah, I
close.
call him you call him sock garters.
What? Okay.
I'm guesstimating his height. At certain points, I just stopped caring.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because his name is Reich.
You're right. He's 4'11".
Yeah.
Oh, 4'11". Is that legally a dwarf? What? I should know. I always check.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's that segment. We bring up a Bobby Reich tweet, and then we're like, he's 4'11". He's 4'11". He's 4'11". He's 4'11". He's 4'11". He's 4'11". Pretty good content for how many views am I going to get on this? Not bad, but definitely not 337,000. Meritocracy clearly working. The harder you work, the more views you get. You do no real research, make no real arguments, don't do any editing, have people to just do the show live where you do probably the least funniest banter. We're talking like if you just went to like a, you went to like a Shake Shack and just like you just like eavesdropped on like the table next to you, it would be funnier banter than this 337,000 crap. And still there you get all this. Getting all this. Yeah, the best rises to the top. But I will say, you viewers out there watching this, you are the best and you rise to the top. To me, you are like as cute as Sarah Silverbone's dog. Okay? What? And who's not cute is her friend
C.K. Louis, the comedian.
Okay? So thank you so much, guys. And please stop it. Cut the attitude. Okay? Bye-bye and bye-bye. Hey, guys. You're only getting a fraction of the weekly shows. If you want a new mother an episode every day, subscribe on Patreon for as little as 2 bones. You get the patron-only Tuesday and Thursday shows, the Bookablega show where we look at important books, and the goddamn weekly behind-the-scenes show. And for only 25 bones, you could become a producer and get your name up here. Look at these people. These people make this show possible. If it wasn't for them, nothing. We don't have a show. We got nothing, and it's garbage. And we have to just leave. We have to just basically walk away. And we don't even really know where we're walking. That's the truly troubling part about all this. But please, become a patron today for as little as 2 bones, or 5 bones is another level, or 10, or you go the full 25 and you get up here. Big special thanks to these people. Love you guys. Love you guys so much.